everyone. We'll be getting ready in just a minute. This is Jackie Bloom. And this is, thank God, it's Friday, art time. How's everyone's Friday going? Give me a compliment. A compliment. Give me a comment, please. Let me know how your day's going. Anybody out there? Okay. Well, if you're not out there now, you can... Hi, Terry. You can always watch it on the replay. Anybody else out there? I'm going to put that. I'll put that up there. Put that over there. There we go. Okay. All right. Alrighty. Let's get rid of that. So, here is our first card. Let me know, Terry, if you can see all of it. Hopefully you can. Looks like I had it about right. So, I'm not sure how you, is it Bargello? B-A-R-G-E-L-L-O? Not sure how you say that. So to start with, let me tell you some colors. Hopefully you can see all of these. I don't think you quite can. We have Mint, Glacier, Sage, Sweet Leaf, and Julep. I have a sponge to go with those inks, and I have the re-inkers because I'll show you a little tip that kind of really helps. Okay? I am using the Stamp of the Month for July. I almost said May. Jeez, where have I been? That was 2 months ago. Can you believe it? Okay, so July Stamp of the Month, which is S2007 for my beautiful friend. It's very pretty. I've seen a lot done with it. So I'm going to stick this up in the corner. This is a 4x6 piece of white cardstock. Oh, shoot. Let me make sure my volume's all the way up. Can everybody hear me? There we go. Give me a message if you can hear me. Thumbs up, something. I've just got scratch paper under here. Move that out of the, I'm going to move that out of the way for now. Okay. I apologize now if the table shakes a little bit. I mean, well, the camera and the table shake a little bit. I hope I don't make anybody sick. So, can you hear me fine, Terry? Give me a little something, something. I am going to start. I'm going to kind of put this on an angle. Get rid of that. And this is Mint. Hopefully you can see all of this. Let's see. Let me just check and make sure you can see everything. Looks like I can bring this down a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to take my re-inker and I'm going to put a little bit up there. Okay. And I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to sponge that, you know, up and north of, what am I trying to say? West, south, north, south, east, and west. So move your sponge around. And then I tap it off onto here to kind of give it a little bit more I don't know, a little bit more. It kind of takes off that re-inker so strong and kind of blends it out. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so very lightly to start, and I tend to start in the middle because I tend to go heavier on the edges. So I'm just going to barely put it down to get some in the middle, and then I'm going to go harder, push down firmer, and see how the edges are always really nice. I'm going to go pick up a little bit more color, tap, 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 and I'm going to focus on this bottom part. Okay, now I'm just going to move it back and forth, go a little bit past where this first color is. That helps blend it to the next color. Oh, that's really shaking. I'll try and go a little slower. Is that shaking too much? It's kind of shaking. Okay, we'll just go a little slower. Okay, so that's our first color. And you will go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors and come back to this one at the top. Okay? Keep your sponges and your re-inkers on top of the ink pad. Always double check. Okay, this is Glacier. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but you know. So, remember, back and forth with your sponge. Tap, tap, tap over here. Start light. And it's okay if it does a little sponging, then just go ahead and sponge the rest of it. And then we'll go a little harder. Stronger color. Remember, we're burnishing it into the paper. Kind of just dries it. And don't forget to go up above and down below where that other color is. I'm going to show you one more, and then I'll show you a finished one, so that way we're not moving the table so much. This is Sage. And I'm going to, instead of using that re-inker, I'm going to show you it's super, super light. But by adding that re-inker, you just get, you know, the normal stronger color. It just is a little bit easier to get everything started to blend. Just gives you a little more color than just sponging it on the, trying not to wiggle too much. Remember, I tend to, and you'll have to just try it on your own, see where you get, you know, where's your heavy and light spot. Oop. I would do it a little stronger, but I don't want to wiggle the table. Okay, so now you can see I've got 3 colors going, and they're soft colors. They blend in well. I'm going to go the rest of the way up, and this last little part will be back to the mint. Okay, so what that looks like when you're done. I don't think I need this anymore for now. Is this. That's what you get. Okay? And you can see it's not super even. You can see little, but I kind of like those little lines. Okay? So now we're going to take this sheet and we're going to cut it the long way at half an inch all the way down. Keep them in line. So that's what these are, my 1/2 inch strips. And I can tell it that this is the first one because you can, if I can hang on to it, you can see that dark color on the edge a little bit more so than this next one. Here. See how there's a little bit darker color value there than on this one? Alright, so now we are going to take this piece, which is the, is that the right piece? Yes, that's the right piece. Okay, so this is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and I am going to put a long piece of tape, cover the whole thing, on the top and the bottom. Okay? The next thing is very important. I know that we're not going to use all of it, but put tape on all of it. Okay? So then this is just up to you. You can start here, you can start here, you can start in the middle, wherever you like. I am going to start at this end and lay that down. Then I'm going to take my next strip and I'm going to put color or adhesive on everything. And this is where you just stagger it. You could stagger it, really stagger it, a little stagger it. Just make sure that you snug it up next to the last one. And we just keep it going. Okay. And just kind of, you can go down a little more. This is just, you know, whatever. Oh, I got a little glue there. It'll wipe off. It's just play with it. I have a lot of fun with this technique. It is so pretty. I'm going to kind of go back up. Sorry, I know this is kind of boring, isn't it? And just stagger it up and down. Maybe go all the way up. It matches a little too much. Okay, there we go. But do keep in mind that you don't have a lot of wiggle room. There's about half an inch or so. If you want to do a longer piece, by all means, you can do a longer piece. Okay, almost done. Sorry, I'll try and move a little faster. I have 3 cards to show you today. This one probably takes the longest. Alright. I just want to show you some. I'll just snug it up. Of course, I'm on camera, so I'm all thumbs. Snug it up. Okay, last one. Hopefully my head's not too much in the way. Alright. That is going to be sticky. But that's okay. So now we're going to go and we're just going to trim this off on the trimmer. You can either do it with your scissors or I like to do it on the paper trimmer. And that's nice because these just stick to each other. You can save these and use these if you want, but I'm not going to. And I've made a ton of these prepping. Okay, so there's our color. And that's, you know, kind of what it looks like. And then I took the medium stitch rectangle die and I just put it on there, put a piece of tape on, cut it out. Okay? And what that looks like is you have this extra piece and this is our finished project, or our finished layer. Okay? Oh, where's my card? Here's my card. Where's the card? Alright, so that is obviously that piece. And this one, I varied a lot more than I did on this one. This one, it's kind of subtle. So it's just what you like. Save this for something else. And I would suggest on this background piece that you cut a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and just glue that on. That way, if you need to, you can practice a couple times. So here's what I did. I'm going to ink it up. And you can start where either side, and you want it to be off the page. That way you get that edge. Otherwise, where's my other one? I don't know where my other one is. But it just looks really off when you have a big white space. Okay, so you can do 2 of those. You know that pretty easily. Down on the edges, you can do a whole one because there's enough room to go off the page over here. So that's all there is to that, okay? And then I have a little piece of black and this onto there. I raised this one up and I stamped my words in black just right on there. And for the butterflies, I cut a butterfly out. I like how I say butterflies. And all I did was grab whatever color I wanted and there's nothing left on there. And just hold that thought. Just inked it up. There again, you can rub it in. Be careful. I suppose you could do it like on here. Then you've got a lot more. I don't know, it looks better that way. I don't know why. And I'm sticking to it. So then I just curved this, put a little glue on there, and just popped it on there. And then I also put a little bit of diamond stickle right over these little dots. Like so. Hopefully it will focus. Can you see those? And then just set that aside to dry. Usually I'll put it on the card and then do the stickle so I can set it aside. Okay, so that's card number 1. And now we will move on to card number 2, which I'll let you look at for a second. I don't see any comments. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. You're fine. I can hear you. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Terry. Alright, so we need a piece that is 3.5 by 6. And we need a piece that is 3.5 by 5. Okay. So, on this piece, we are going to use this little piece, which is that one right there. And I am going to go backwards, so I'm going to move all of my inks and sponges next to the inks. Keep everything straight. I'm going to start with Julep. Okay, so a couple things about this. One, can you see me? I'm going to go off this corner and off this edge as I put my first piece down. And then I'm going to just get close to there. And then you want to kind of stagger. So you can do it this way by going in the middle and then on each end. And we're only doing 2 rows of each color. But don't overlap it too much. If you overlap it too much, it really adds a dark spot. Okay? Next color, that was Julep. Next is Sweet Leaf. Clean off my stamp. And that's okay if there's a little bit of white. If you don't like it, do it again. So we are just going to fill this entire thing, this entire piece of paper each one of those. And to save time, here's what you get when you're done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 more. Okay? And then we are going to take and cut it into 1/2-inch strips again. Okay? And then we're going to take our 3.5 by 5, and I'm going to put a strip on the top again, and a strip on the bottom. But this one doesn't need as much. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to randomly put our sections on, as much or as little as you want. This is you know, straight from the ink pad, so they are a little darker, so you will see a little bit more of the difference in color as you go, but I kind of like that. And you can do as much as little as you want. Just try and stagger it a little bit. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I don't think it matters too much. They all have the same pretty much color. Remember to get it up next to there. So this is just another variation that I came up with. So if you're not really good, you don't like your sponging, this is just stamping. Move that one just a smidge closer. It's not the end of the world if you miss it. Okay, there's the last one. I should have my all-purpose mat. And again, we're going to cut it off. And I'm going to take it over and do it on my trimmer really quickly. Off camera. Just because I find that a little bit quicker. And here's what we get when we're done. And that's the exact size. So you can see you got a lot more color difference, and it could be whatever colors you want. It could be rainbow, and the rainbow would kind of move up and down. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you about this one is I did gold. I cut out the little dragonfly and I colored it with gold shimmer brush. I also went around the edge. I'll show you how I did that. Remember to shake your shimmer brush to get all that good sparkle going. And actually I did it while it was on the card. I just touched the edge of the card to add that edge. And you can even bend it back a little if you're not careful, or you can do it before you layer it on there. And this is layered up. Okay, so the other thing I want to show you is the little flowers. So what I did was I stamped and cut out the little flowers. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of this on here so we don't have sparkles everywhere. And here's another little technique I got from Close to My Heart. Again, we're shaking the gold, and we are going to put a little puddle on there, and then if you get enough of a puddle, well, you can see a little bit. Okay, let's get a little more puddle. There we go. We want it a little bit so it'll fall off, but not too much that it makes too big a splatters on such a little flower. There we go. Just move this around. That kind of controls it to right here rather than it going everywhere. Okay? So that was gold, and then I'm just going to, you could do a couple of things. You could put your color on here and stamp something out, or you can just wash it off. I've got to wash my fingers off, excuse me a second, because they got a little glittery. So you can see how that just adds some pretty color. And I'll bring the card in again. And hopefully, where am I? Hopefully, there we go. You can see that pretty color. And that is card 2. Need to get rid of some of that. There we go. Alright. Card number 2. Next is our final card. Oh, I should have show you all 3 of them again. And this is the last variation. So we need a 3 by 4 1/4, a 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then your card base. So this is your layer, and this is the one we're stamping on. So we're just going to take this and put it on this way, and take that little swash again, and start with julep. And this time we're not going to go off the edge or anything, but we are going to stagger back and forth. Okay? So I am going to go off the bottom edge, and I'm going to go, you can see how it's bigger here and shorter there. So I'm just going to kind of go within that. So, I don't know, about a little more than 1/4 of an inch. So I want to make sure that I overlap and I go about the same. So now you can see we've got about the same distance here and here. Okay? That was julep. This is sweet leaf. Wash that off. And there is a swoop. See how it kind of curves? So you can either switch that around to go every other one or just match it. So this one we kind of are matching that edge. So I'm kind of keeping that in mind. Not totally, but you know, a little bit. Oop, I have a little bit of ink along here. And it just ever so slightly gave me a little bit of something on there. And the next one. And you get the idea. Just back and forth, up and down, all the way up. Okay. So that becomes this piece. And we are going to layer it onto our, and this is sage that I'm using, and I believe it's, I can't tell if it's the light or the dark side. Yeah, whatever you like. I matched it up. Okay, card base. And the next thing we're going to do is we only want to use the flowers, so you can either wrap that around or just let it hang. We just want the flowers. Be careful because she does have an arm there. And all I'm going to do is ink it up. And I like to check that it's nice and inky. Oh, should have done this before we put it on here. Ah. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay. And since we've got a lot of sticky on there, let me bring in my all-purpose mat. Just stick that down too. Ink it back up. And probably should ink up our words first. goes on. That way we know. Third time's charm, right? I think this is well inked. Put that on. That. And take that off. I love that you can just wash that off. Get rid of that. And now we're going to also put an edge, and I'm not going to put that back on there yet. I also put some on this corner. Okay. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, bring in my pieces of scratch paper again, and I'm going to use the Julep color of the year this time. But I don't know if you can see on here, there's sparkle kind of here and here, but there's not so much here and here. And how I do that is by, again, and this one's really juicy, so you don't need as much. I'm going to kind of keep it where I want it to go, which is in this corner. So pull it back a little bit. That's good. Set that aside. Nope, I need on that. No, hopefully it won't stick too bad. I'm going to kind of angle that. I can just get a little bit onto there, and more in this one corner. There we go. Alright. So again, take that off. Wash your fingers, they get kind of sparkly. Alright, so we've got this one done. And, oh, now I can look. It's the lighter side. I think I'm going to change that to the darker side. Alright. So, this I'm just kind of centering. So, and then put this one on. Going the right way. Yes, folds up there. And there we go. Ta-da! Hopefully you can see. This one's got, well, you can see a lot down there. Hopefully you can see that. Hey Fonda! Thanks for joining. Alright, so we made that one, and this one, and this one. And anybody can say that gets brownie points. B-A-R-G-E-L-L-O. That is the technique, which is actually this one. This is just my twists on it. So, I hope you enjoy your Friday, and I will see you next Friday. And drop me a comment on which is your favorite card. And if you're going to try this technique, I'd love to see you post in the comments what you did so everybody can see. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a great day.